We want to dive a little deeper into the Imam's words, taking a closer look at those claims that moving the center could endanger or could anger, rather, radicals. We also want to focus on where exactly we go from here. Imam Yahya Hendi, Muslim chaplain at Georgetown University and president of the Clergy Beyond Borders, is joining me live from D.C. Also, Reza Aslan, an Islamic scholar and author, joining me live from New York. Also in New York, Mona El-Tahawi, commentator and public speaker on Arab issues. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what Imam Rauf told Soledad O'Brien last night about the danger of shifting plans somewhere else, and I want to get you all to respond.
I am extremely concerned about sensitivity, but I also have a responsibility. If we moved from that location, the story will be that the radicals have taken over the discourse. The headlines in the Muslim world will be that Islam is under attack. And I'm less concerned about the radicals in America than I'm concerned about the radicals in the Muslim world.
But isn't that also saying you're less concerned about the voices of opposition?
No. I'm sorry, I don't mean it that way. I meant it that the danger from the radicals in the Muslim world to our national security, to the national security of our troops. I have a niece who works in the army and served in Iraq. The concern for American citizens who live and work and travel overseas will increasingly be compromised if the radicals are strengthened. And if we do move, it will strengthen the argument of the radicals to recruit, their ability to recruit, and their increasing aggression and violence against our country.
Imam Hendi, your thoughts?
You know, I think he came across to me when I watched him last night very authentic, very honest, and a loyal American. He cares about the image of the United States of America in the Muslim world. He wants the Muslim world to continue to think of America in a very positive way, and he wants to calculate very well his move and what he will do in the near future. I think he was very wise in terms of how he articulated himself and his love for America. And I think he has to be taken as such, a loyal American citizen who cares about America.
Mona, what do you think about what he said, that if he backed down now, that it would inflame the radicals?
You know, over the Labor Day weekend, I joined a group of volunteer sidewalk activists who have been standing outside of Park 51 for the past 3 weeks now. And together, we told our fellow Americans that the main issue here is the Constitution. For me, it's not about what is going to happen overseas. It's about what's happening right here in America. As an American Muslim, I care about that Constitution, and I think that Park 51 should not move. It should go on with its plans to build right there, because the Constitution guarantees religious freedoms for everyone. And I think as Americans, that's the kind of conversation we should be having. We should not be concerned about what's happening outside of America. And whenever someone wanted to talk about, you know, Muslims there and Muslims here, I told them, no, let's talk about Americans and American Muslims right here. So I think this is where I disagree with Imam Faisal. I agree that he is genuine, and I think that he is sincere, and he does not intend to hurt feelings. But I think this is a conversation about the Constitution and the religious freedoms of American Muslims.
Reza, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. On the one hand, I'm with Jon Stewart on this when he said, who gives a bleep what the radicals in the Muslim world actually think about Park 51. On the other hand, let's be honest. I mean, we are engaged in two very serious wars in the region. We are engaged in this ideological conflict, this war on terror. And there's no question, as General Petraeus himself said, that there are radicals in the region who will use this issue to fuel the propaganda that America is at war against Islam, that Americans are anti-Muslim in some way. So there is certainly going to be some global repercussions to the discussion that we have here. But Mona is absolutely right. This isn't about them. This is about us and who we are, and the fact that we don't allow these kinds of, you know, mainstream Islamophobic notions, these religious bigotries, to actually define our laws or to make our decisions for us.
Now, the Imam also said last night that seeing what has happened, that he would, if he could go back in time, he wouldn't have chosen to build the center near Ground Zero. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Given what you know now, would you have built?
As I mentioned it, this story is not new. People knew about it.
Right, but given what you know now, would you have said, listen, let's not do it there? Because it sounds like you're saying, in retrospect, wouldn't have done it.
Well, yes.
You would not have done it.
If I knew that this would happen, this would cause this kind of pain, I wouldn't have done it. My life has been devoted to peacemaking, solidarity.
There are so many people who say, so if you're saying it was a mistake, then why can't you get out of it and not do it?
Because we have to now make sure that whatever we do actually results in greater peace, not in greater conflict.
Imam Hendi, would you agree with him on that? Knowing what you know now, would you say, "Oof, shouldn't have built it there"?
That was my reaction when I heard the news a few weeks ago. I said I would not have done it out of sensitivity, and because Islam is a religion of peace, compassion, and Islam cares about all others. Even now, I dare to say some of my fellow Muslims may disagree with me. I wish Imam Faisal Rauf could have last night, or could in the very near future, stand out firmly with dignity and honor and say, listen guys, it's my constitutional right to continue to exist. I wanted to build the center for the sake of peace, love, and to build the bridges. However, because I care about America, because I'm sensitive to the needs of all people, I do not want to continue with this process, or I want to build an interfaith center that will accommodate all religious communities. I think that will speak of his courage, it will speak of his character, it will speak of Islam and of America as well. However, what Mona was saying was also important, that it's about here, about the Constitution, about America. However, on the other hand, I travel to the Muslim world very often too. What America does is magnified everywhere. People follow what America does.
Yeah.
And if religion is not respected in America, if all religions are not respected in America, if Islam is not honored in America, what kind of message are we sending to the Muslim world?
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And Mona, what do you think, knowing what you know now and how this has sparked such a huge controversy, would you have changed your mind and said, let's not build it near ground zero?
You know, to be quite honest, Kira, I didn't care much about Park 51 until I began to see it as part of this kind of growing wave of anti-Muslim rhetoric across the United States that pains me deeply. And it's not just about Park 51. This is much bigger than Park 51. We're at a very, very interesting moment in American history. And I do not want to set a dangerous precedent for American Muslims, because it's not just Park 51 that is being told to move out of supposed sensitivity. There's a mosque in Tennessee that's been planned that was attacked a few days ago, and it's suspected arson. There's a mosque project in Wisconsin. There's a mosque in Florida. There's a mosque in LA. It's not just about Park 51. So I urge my fellow Americans and American Muslims to see this within that big context. It's not about Park 51. It's about an anti-Muslim rhetoric, and we must not go down the slippery slope that says, oh, move here please because you offend us. Where do we draw the line then? Where else should we move? As an American Muslim, I have a right to be here. The pain of 9/11 families is unfathomable, but we do not set public policy according to people's pain. The Constitution must not be suspended. We must say we are proud American Muslims, but we are also proud of the Constitution, and it must stand.
Ressa, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are obviously people who feel very emotionally attached to this location, but let's not kid ourselves here. This entire controversy was ginned up by an organization called Stop Islamization of America, an anti-Muslim group that is behind the protests across mosques being built all across the country. So this is about anti-Muslim sentiment, which is at record levels in the United States, much more so than it is about the sensitivities of people about this site. And Mona's right, in this country, our constitutional rights are not held hostage to people's sensitivities, no matter what they are.